So far we've completed the mushroom hat and the staff for my mushroom wizard. Today I'm going to work on making a cloak. First step is rolling out my black polymer clay super thin so I get some really nice texture and clothing like ruffles. And this is me just sizing it all out. I ended up not making the cloak this way because I found it was a lot easier just to drape it over the entire thing, as you can see here. And because I wasn't sure if this was going to work out or not, I did not use any of my polymer clay adhesive, so this is me just putting some in between the polymer clay and the plaster figure so that I can make sure that it sticks when it's baked. And I'm going to do the same thing for the back, only I'm going to start by using the polymer clay adhesive. I also made sure to use some kind of cushion. Here I'm using some travel tissues just to make sure that I don't warp or smush too much of the front of the cloak. I also apologize for all these side shots and close-up shots of my ear. I didn't realize I was in frame. After I get that attached, I'm just going to combine the front and the back pieces and just smooth using my fingers and some polymer clay sculpting tools to make sure that it looks like one uniform piece. And this is what it looks like before I add the little sleeve cuffs. To make the sleeve cuffs, all I'm going to do is roll out some black polymer clay into a really thin snake and wrap that around where the polymer clay meets the plaster hand. And I'm going to smooth that backwards, leaving a nice edge using my polymer clay tool just to kind of make it look like he has a little bit of a sleeve there. And I did that on both sides. Next is where I'm going to take some 91% isopropyl alcohol and some Q-tips and smooth out any blemishes or imperfections in the black cloak. You want to be careful using this. It works like a charm, but it also dissolves a little bit of the clay, so it can get really mushy and gross if you use too much, so just be very sparing with this. And this is what it looks like right before baking and before everything started to go wrong. So what happened was whenever I put him in my oven, I had the back part touching the element in my oven, and it actually burnt a little bit and started smoking. Thankfully I caught it in time, but there is this little blemish. Also the front started to crack a little bit because it was too thin, so I just had to go in with some more polymer clay adhesive and polymer clay and just reinforce those cracks to make sure that it wouldn't crumble. So this will be covered with paint later on in the final step, so stay tuned for the next part.